Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the I've Created a Monster podcast. I am Rushni. This is where I run my mouth and say my random thoughts, my unfiltered thoughts, and my observations. I am live on Instagram right now and with my patrons live on YouTube in the comments. As usual, Instagram will get the beginning of the taping and the patrons get the whole kit and caboodle. If you would like to become a patron and be part of the chat live, you can join me at patreon.com/Glamazzini. I am sleepwalking. Okay, the way that Thanksgiving has just reminded me how I am actually middle-aged. Today, my son's teacher said that I was middle-aged, and I was like, I can't even lie. That is literally what you would call my age right now. And I took a nap before this. And so I am only awake for like 20 minutes before I actually film this, which I don't know if this is wisdom or just what old people have to do. All right. So today's topic, I'm going to dabble in the fact that Nick Cannon says he has a personality disorder, talk about new social media platforms. Then I'm going to go over to a little Juanita Bynum, a little Walmart DEI. And if I have chance, I'm going to get to the other ones, which are the big ones. Okay. An OnlyFans model making a heck of a bunch of money. This lady was out of office situation on TikTok, and TD Jakes, and even Joe and his shenanigans at the end of his presidential term. Okay, today I am wearing bunny ears. I have a significant number of, ooh, they have wire in them. Okay, focus. I just bought these, so I am not fully familiar with the bunny ear shenanigan. Oh, I could put one up and one down. Oh my God. Instant joy unlocked. Okay, so here's the thing. I bought these animal ears. I think I bought the Serengeti package, but I have a lot of bunny ears because these actually came with the package. And then I had bunny ears from Halloween. Okay, so these actually match my outfit. I'm trying to get the ears. They're kind of crooked, but you know how that is when you're doing stuff in the camera. So anyway, if you want to see the bunny ears and you're listening on a audio platform, you're going to have to go to YouTube at Monster Created. Okay. Okay. Stop fiddling with the bunny ears, Rushdie. First things first, I want to say happy birthday. Hi, Blue Isis is a patron and she is watching. She says hi on YouTube. And I think you said today is your birthday. So hi, Blue Isis. Happy birthday to you. You said, what's the weather doing? You sure it's cold? It is actually in the 20s. It is so cold that I have been using my garage as part of my Thanksgiving freezer. There is a giant pot of soup slash broth that I basically took the remainder of the turkey and made a soup out of it yesterday, boiled it down. I'm going to go down and freeze the rest of it after this. But yesterday I put butternut squash in the broth of that and then seasoned it up a little bit, like put in a saucepan and then dumped it over a piece of cornbread. And as my cousin said, it was big back behavior and it was amazing. So it's cold enough for me to use the garage as a freezer. It has also snowed here in St. Louis a couple times, a few days ago and then today. And today was actually the first day that I went outside and said snow. I don't know if I said this, but we actually hosted people at my house for Thanksgiving. And real talk, I am too old to be doing all of that. Okay. I was prepping and cooking for 3 days straight. The day after Thanksgiving, everything on my body hurt. Like everything on my body hurt in a way that only a 48-year-old could understand. And I don't know if I'm ever going to do it again, but the good news is we got rave reviews from all of the people that came. 4 generations were kicking their little feet in glee about what we did for Thanksgiving. The only thing I got a negative review on was the punch that I made. Apparently, when you are cooking through a cookbook, as I told you guys, I am minding my own business, hashtag MMOB. Whenever I feel like putting on my Black woman cape, I'm going to go ahead and do something else. My something else is cooking through 3 cookbooks, which I have sitting next to me. I made a punch recipe out of this cookbook that I'm showing on YouTube. It's called Paradise Potpourri. Okay. And I felt like there was too much sugar in this recipe. And trying to be the healthy aunt that I am, I put everything they said to put in a punch recipe, except I did not put as much sugar. All the adults thought it was delicious. All the kids thought it was too tart because kids nowadays drink too much sugar. Okay, so that was the only thing that they were like, it's a little too tart, Auntie Rushni. But beyond that, it all went well. Blue Isis says, look, that garage coldness comes in handy till one can't play Tetris in the fridge. Absolutely. And as a Virgin Islander, it is still amazing to me that I can do this. It's just amazing that I could just put food outside. The punch has never been inside the house. The punch has been outside the entire time because it's in a giant container. Okay, let's talk about our topics. Nick Cannon has revealed to us this past week that he has been diagnosed officially with narcissistic personality disorder. And all I have to say is anybody surprised by that? I'm okay. I'm not surprised. I'm not being judgmental, but I am assessing the situation. And you will know a tree by what? Its fruit. Okay. And Nick has a lot of fruit. What we have been seeing publicly from Nick Cannon is either the conscious choice of a very detached human being who is taking that be fruitful and multiply verse in the Bible very seriously and leaving a wake of broken homes behind him, or a person operating from a lens that is severely unhealed. The latter apparently is the case, and he has said that he has been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. Now, there are some other people who I see prominently out here with microphones that I would not be surprised if they could be solidly and swiftly diagnosed with something that could be considered disordered, where pain has become their personality. But since Nick has shared that with us, all I have to say is I hope that he gets the help that he needs, because he said that he needs help. And that is amazing. Actually, quite rare too. People with narcissistic personality disorder don't typically go looking for help. They are rare. So kudos to him. Kudos to him. Blue Isis says his behavior for years has given him away. It has been pointing to something. Okay. I already told y'all, if it walked like a duck and it talked like a duck and it leaves 8,000 broken homes behind it with children with no father in the home like a duck all over the place, then it might be a duck. Okay. It might be a duck. So I hope Nick gets the help that he says that he needs. And it gives you a lot more perspective on Mariah Carey and her experience, especially because she was here in St. Louis this weekend for a Christmas concert. So she is skipping around, screaming it's time at people, wearing cute little Christmas shorts. And her ex-husband is revealing that he was probably a terrapot in the house with her. All right, onward. The next thing I wanted to give an update on are these new social media platforms that are popping up all over the place. On one of the previous episodes, I said that somebody had sent me a new social media platform to check out because people apparently are exiting X, formerly known as Twitter, like a bat out of hell. Okay, do bats actually exit hell quickly? Where do we get that from? Anyway, that doesn't make any sense. Some of these things that we say don't make any sense. Anyway, let's focus. So somebody emailed me and they were like, "Hey, you should check out this one." And I was like, I don't even post on Twitter that much anymore because it didn't even take Elon being there for me to not post on Twitter. I just wasn't posting on it. You know what I mean? So when they sent me this new one, I was like, I don't want. And I think on one of the previous episodes, I said, I don't want. So it turns out that what they were sending me was Fanbase, which is a Black-owned social media platform. And I had already joined Fanbase. Why? Because even though I don't want to post on another social media platform because I'm tired and I can't keep up with posting on the ones that we have right now, I am the only person that is a Glamazini. So whenever a social media platform pops up, I don't care what it is. I shouldn't say that. because I haven't gone to Truth Social and gotten Glamazini, but I have a tendency to go on there, get my handle, and then chuck the deuces and church finger it back out the door. So I had already joined that one. Turns out there's two of them now that everybody is apparently flocking to because Elon and his shenanigans since pre and post election have just made the culture of Twitter a cesspool. At least that's what I hear because I'm not over there. The first one is Blue Sky. The second one is Spill. I have signed up for Blue Sky because, as I said, I like to be a squatter on my own handles, even if I'm not going to post. Plus, you never know. You never say never. Okay. I say I'm never going to post over there, and I haven't posted anything over there. But the platform that I use to schedule my posts is adding Blue Sky as an option. And listen, if it's as easy as clicking a button to just send it over there too, you never know. Okay. This bunny might be posting. This bunny might be posting. And apparently there's one called Spill. Now, I don't know what the uniqueness of these things are. I think that they say there's no bots, there's no ads, there's no hateration, holleration in the dancery. I honestly don't know, but I haven't gone to Spill. I haven't joined it. I'm tired. I don't know if Blue Sky and or Spill are Black owned. I don't think Blue Sky is. I vaguely remember somebody saying Blue Sky is like the Twitter person who started Twitter, who was like, oops, and then started a new one. I don't know. I shouldn't have sold it to Elon. I don't know. Okay, so that's where we are on new social media platforms. One next topic that I just wanted to skim real quick because I needed to get this off my chest. And this podcast is where I say my actual real thought. I really enjoy the podcast, Dear Future Wifey. And they, for the most part, I watch all of the episodes on YouTube. I've been a fan for years, not from the very beginning in the pandemic, but like close to it. And it has been very interesting to watch the platform grow, as well as the different levels of people who the host is now able to have on his platform. It's impressive. Okay. So, I don't always watch every episode though, because sometimes I will click in, see somebody say like, "Okay, this is interesting," lose interest and go about my business, right? That's what we get to do when we're on social media. So, Latarius, who is I wonder if his name is pronounced Latarius or Lateris. I just had that thought when I said it out my mouth because I don't really say the man's name. I just read it anyway or hear it. Focus. He had Juanita Bynum on for his last episode. I think the episodes dropped midweek and Juanita Bynum was on midweek. And let me tell y'all something. I have to say this because I want to be honest. I didn't watch it. I didn't. And you know why I didn't watch it? Let me tell you why I didn't watch it. I checked the tree before I picked the fruit. Let me say that. And so, more so now and moving forward in my life than any other time in my life, I am not wowed by statuses that are given by man when I notice that a person may or may not be producing the outcomes that I desire in my life. So, I'm not sure what Juanita's title is now. I don't know if she's evangelist or prophetess. I know there are lots of titles in Western church culture, and I don't know what her current title is, but I couldn't bring myself to watch it. So if you have watched it, whether on YouTube or on Instagram, somebody give me the TLDR. What was she saying? You know, their Future Wifey podcast is about the host's particular journey of I forgot what he says, like recovering, rediscovering love and all that kind of stuff, which is beautiful. And I also love the fact that he interviews so many people because if he was just a single dude sitting there talking about relationships, there are a lot of people doing that. And I don't listen to those people. Okay. Cause what? But I like the fact that he brings all these people in and now he's getting all these things. But I couldn't listen to Juanita because I have not seen fruit in that area from her particularly. And if I'm being honest, I've also noticed sometimes things seeming a little peculiar. Look at those word choices, peculiar. Okay. So those are my thoughts on that. Apparently now, we are going backwards. People have heard me calling our president-elect negative 45 since 2016. The reason I called him negative 45 is because he was the 45th president, and I felt like he was going to take us back 45 years. That's what I'm trying to get out my mouth. So people have now gone around, circled the block, returned to their vomit, and re-elected negative 45. Okay. And now that we have negative 45 on the horizon as the negative 47th president, which I'm really toying with just adding them together and calling him negative 92, but I haven't gotten there yet. So he's still negative 45. Okay. Now we're seeing all of these like blips on the radar of what people feel okay to do. And one of these things is the fact that now everybody's pulling out their DEI programs. Okay. Somehow in our culture, in the year of our good Lord 2024, just a few short decades, not even a century, just a few short decades after people got rights that were being withheld from them based off of diverse characteristics, right? And initiatives were recently put into place in the past couple 3 decades to help assist and right the wrongs. I guess companies feel like those initiatives are no longer necessary. And Walmart is not just rolling back prices right now. Walmart is rolling back its DEI initiatives. And that I don't understand the math of making something matter and then saying it doesn't matter. Like creating a system where race matters and race is a way to delineate people and the rights that they get. And then all of a sudden saying race, it shouldn't matter. We should all be equal and none of this affected you. I don't get it. Anyway, Walmart is apparently had a bunch of DEI initiatives that they had in place with their employees, with their suppliers, with their all the things, and they are rolling it back. I don't know the details. I heard the details, but it didn't stick in my brain. Plus, I told y'all I just woke up from a nap. Okay. So apparently they are not going to be look looking into whether or not the gender, so it's not, they're not going to be looking at women owned businesses, brown or black owned, indigenous, all of that is apparently going to be out the window. And they're trying to make this imaginary even playing field that some, I don't know, hypothetical human thinks exists in a system in a country that was literally based and built on these things mattering so that you could categorize people. It's insanity. Okay. Blue Isis says on YouTube, sure are, but Aldi isn't. Yeah. So I saw online, I forgot the name of the website. Open something. You can Google it. There's a website that you can go to where you can actually pull up what involvement companies have with political interests. If a company has a tendency to fund and give money to left-leaning things, fund and give money to right-leaning things, what percentage, some of them are 50-50, some of them are more right, some are more left. Aldi is a company that just stays out of it. There was a makeup beauty company too, but I don't want to call names because I remember. And I know that Trader Joe's is much more left-leaning, if that's of concern to you. So Walmart is not just about rolling back prices. Walmart is about rolling back equity. And the wild thing about equity programs is equity programs benefit people in different economic classes, which are across race and across gender. Like they benefit people in based on gender. They benefit people based on race, but they benefit people in all kinds of ways that I just cannot fathom. I just cannot fathom. So anyway, if that matters to you, definitely make the shifts that you need to. I personally am still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with all this information because there's still a lot of information. I was listening to this person on TikTok list out all these companies that, contributed to negative 45's campaign. And one of my favorite companies, Free People, was on there. And when I tell you, it was like somebody thumped me in the chest because the amount of money I've given to Free People. And I was like, y'all giving my money to negative 45? What y'all doing? I was traumatized. So, anyway, do your research, look up the website. I will put a link to the website I'm talking about in the information box of this video when I post it on YouTube and in the show notes when I post it on audio platforms later. And if those things matter to you, then make the internal shifts that you want to make. Okay. And with that, Instagram, I am going to stop right now and stop you guys. And I'm going to finish. If you want to be part of this recording live, join me on patreon.com/Glamazzini, and you can come right over here to YouTube and record this episode live. All right. Bye, Instagram. And I am back. Okay. Blue Isis has shared that the site to check what companies donate politically is Open Secrets. Yes, that's what I was trying to remember, but I had a nap brain, could not remember it. Open Secrets. So if you care about those things, that information is available to you. Also, it's a lot, but there are ways that you can just slowly do your own thing. You know what I mean? I saw a lady saying if you can't fully boycott Walmart because Walmart is the only store near you, you can do like micro boycotts, meaning only don't buy Walmart branded products. You know, like they make like Equate and those kind of things. Like you could still go in the store, but you do like a mini boycott. Like you only purchase things from other companies that aren't directly going into Walmart's pockets, or whatever. You only get the things that are fresh, but not the things that are boxed. She had a whole thing. Okay. Google is your best friend. Now, let's talk about this OnlyFans model who apparently is out here winning at capitalism after a year. This lady, I've never heard of her in my life. Her name is Sophie Rain. She has been on OnlyFans for a year, 365. Okay. And she shared this image that said, so grateful for, making it to a year on this platform, with a screenshot of how much money she had made. This woman had pulled in $43 million plus and some changerama, okay? On her first year of OnlyFans. The first thing I want to say is don't ever think that a platform or a genre is oversaturated. Don't ever think that a platform or a genre is oversaturated. If you had been like, I'm gonna get on OnlyFans and there are too many people out there, I can't make money. No, that is not true. Because Miss Sophie Rain went out there and dug up in the pockets of all of these men. I'm assuming it's mostly men out there, and got her 43 milli since the year of our Lord 2023. Okay. So if it's for you, it's for you. The next thing is I saw the post on somebody linked it and I saw it on Spiritual World. I don't follow these websites. I probably should now, based off of the fact that I'm doing this podcast. That'd probably be a great place to get topics, but I don't follow these platforms. But somebody linked it and I saw it. Like I clicked through. And Blue Isis says that's crazy work. Is it crazy work or is it smart? Okay, sometimes you gotta work smarter and not harder. I don't know what she's doing out there. Okay. But 43 million in 1 year, I've never made it. I've never made it. Okay. What? And I don't know what she was doing before this. So I'm assuming she's never made it either. Like, I'm not assuming, I don't think 43 million is less than she made last year. I don't know. I don't know the woman, ever heard her name before. Okay. But here's the thing. Somebody dropped the link and I went on over to Spiritual World and I clicked in the comments. And comments kill me because all these comments of people saying things and a bunch of people liking their comment, they say something and 39 people like their comment. They say something and 47 people like their comment. And the comment that people are leaving will be like a woman saying, well, it's too bad that I have morals and values and blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Sorry. I just want to say, I really want to write to those people and say, shut up. Do you know how easy it is to see that somebody is making $43 million on OnlyFans on a gossip platform that you choose to follow? So it's already showing me what your character is like. Okay. You're in here trying to get salacious tea about what's going on from day to day, pumped into your cerebral cortex. You get salacious tea about what's going on from day to day, pumped into your cerebral cortex on demand of your choosing. And now you want to be high and mighty. I don't think you could do it if you tried. Okay. People always wanted to be like, I could do it, but I have morals and values. Boo boo. I don't know this young lady. I saw her picture. There was no salacious nothing, but clearly something is happening where she is bringing, because money is the energy of value transfer. Okay, she is transferring some kind of value. Okay, this woman has transferred $43 million of value across the interwebs in a paid platform, and she has received the value transfer of $43 million. And the people in there talking about, it's too bad I have more than value. It's too bad I have more than values. You couldn't even do it if you tried. So please be quiet. The other thing that annoys me, I just thought about it. I thought I would bring it up. Why not? You'll see the same comment 14 times. It's too bad I have more than values. It's too bad I have more than values. I just wonder sometimes if people can think their own thoughts. This happens a lot on TikTok too. People will use the same wording of the same comment and comment it on the same video or on every video. And it's like trends. So you'll never see the comment before, then you'll see the comment, and then everybody is making the same comment. Please relax. Think your own thoughts, write your own words. I saw something about too bad I have morals and values at least three times when I was scrolling, and I was just like, not only could you not do whatever this woman did, you can't even come up with your own words to type underneath the post. So there's that. Personally, I don't ever see myself doing OnlyFans. I never say never though, because never is a long, long time. What song is that? Never say never, never such a long, long time. Who is that? Never say never. Love's gonna change your mind. Fun fact about me, I am chocked full of lyrics across the ages. I never know who sings the song. Okay. On this podcast, y'all, well, listen, I was about to say on this podcast, y'all gonna get all the singing, but I be singing on other platforms too. So I don't know why I just made it seem like I'm only singing over here. Okay. But lyrics are stuck in here and I don't be knowing who sings it. Okay. Back to the topic. Never say never, because never is such a long, long time. I don't see myself getting on OnlyFans because that's not how I feel like showing up in the world. You know what I mean? I don't, I don't know, right? It's giving face. Then it, I don't. But I used to joke around with a friend 2 decades ago about selling feet pics. I'm talking about 2 solid decades ago. She and I had come up with a plan to take over the world. And we were joking around. We had a name for the domain. Like we were for real, for real. We were gonna do little jokes, little tableaus, little scenes with the feet, and we were gonna use her feet because I am 6'1" and I have big feet, and I've never really thought my feet were hideous, but I also don't think my feet are beautiful. But she had cute little dainty feet, and she also had Caucasian women feet, and we just knew that cute little dainty Caucasian women feet was gonna bring us in that cash. Okay, so I'm not saying I would do it, like Nelly said, unless I'm gonna do it. I mean, I don't. Sometimes life is hard and it don't have to be that hard. Okay. So am I judging this young lady? No, because OnlyFans exists and I'm not gonna do it. So she's out there doing it. And I don't know why people get mad at her for making $43 million, but never comment on the men who gave her $43 million. Like the reason why she could make $43 million on OnlyFans is there are men willing to give somebody 43 million. That's one creator. So think about how much money people are pulling in on these platforms, how much money the people giving the money have given away for whatever they are seeing on the Only of Fans. That's all I got to say about that. Okay. Next one. Last week, there was this lady going viral on TikTok. I saw her original video and I was like, "Mer?" And then I went about my business. That happens to me a lot. I, for some reason, am always at the forefront of a thing and then watch it blow up. And it's happened to me on YouTube. Like I used to do a series on my original platform when I did hair stuff called Check Out Her Channel. The amount of people that I said, "Check out her channel," because their channel was smaller than mine at the time, and now those people have blown up and have massive platforms. I It's ridiculous. I was just spot on picking people, okay? Same thing. I don't know if it's just I don't know why God has me in that spot, but that's what happens to me. On TikTok, it is not uncommon for me to see a video, think, this gonna go crazy." Go in the comment section and it's like 1,000 views and 14 comments. And I'm just like, sometimes I comment, sometimes I don't, and I just go about my business. This particular lady's video I saw super early. And I remember thinking, tell you afterward. I'm gonna tell you what the video was about first, and then I'm gonna tell you what I thought. Okay, so this is the story. I'm gonna put the link to her TikTok down below because this TikTok still exists, so you can go. This lady comes on and she asks us, I keep getting reprimanded by my boss. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm bugging, if I'm tripping, okay, if I'm a crash out. So let me bring it to y'all so y'all could explain it to me. I have been leaving stories in my out of office email. Okay. She works in a corporate office. You set an email that automatically sends when you're going to be out of office, that typically tells people when you're going to be out of office, the beginning and the end date, who they can contact if they need help on XYZ projects, and that you will get back to them when you are back in the office when you return. That's basically what an out of office email contains. Her out of office email was containing fanciful stories of adventures of squirrels and sharks. So she goes out of office. Her employer comes to her, her boss comes to her after finding out that she's writing fanciful stories of squirrels and sharks in her sorry, in her out of office email. And her boss is like, "Ma'am, don't do that. That's unprofessional. That's too silly." Okay? And she was like, "Bet. Got it. Got it. Thank you so much." So the next time she has to be out of office now, she decides she's going to write a more serious story. Okay. And these stories are going to have historical facts or fun facts in them, right? In her out of office. Because she's like, who doesn't want a historical fact or a fun fact to read when I'm out of the office? Right? She's like, duh. And her boss comes to her the second time, and it's like, boo boo, that is unprofessional. That is not office related. Cease and desist. Do y'all know that woman? The third time she came back and she said, and the third time I said, okay, bet I'm going to make it office related. I put office wellness tips. So this woman put fanciful stories about sharks and squirrels in her first out of office. Her boss tell her to stop. The second out of office, she put some stories about historical facts and fun facts. The boss tell her to stop. The third time she put wellness tips talking about make sure you get up and stretch and drink your water. Boo boo. And then she come to TikTok asking us if she tripping out, if she bugging, and telling us that corporate America is squashing her creative style. Now listen. I am a grown woman sitting here on YouTube right now with bunny ears, okay? With an assortment of Care Bears and pineapples behind me. I like a good time. I am definitely a creative minded person, and I was not a lover of corporate culture, okay? Corporate culture felt like somebody was bloodletting me, like somebody had slit my arm and let the blood drip out slowly, like somebody had put leeches on me and was sucking the life force out of me. I was not I was not happy there. Also, I know that if my boss got to come tell me something 3 times, I'm going to be out of office. Okay, because he's going to fire me. Blue Eyes said that was hilarious. Yes, she was tripping. Like, who does that? Who is telling stories? She's about to be fired for real. That's what I'm saying. She gonna have her final out of office email. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you for real what I thought when I read it. The first thing I thought when I read it was, is she on the spectrum? Hear me out. Hear me out. I went in the comment section and there were people asking the same question. So don't look at me funny. Okay? Don't look at me funny. Other people was like, "Girl, you got a," somebody said, "Girl, you got a bit of autism." But let me tell you why. I genuinely was wondering, okay, if it was giving neurodivergence. Okay? Blue Isis says it's giving divergence. You know why? Because she was responding to the boss's request so literally and so granularly. I was like, okay. So what we are seeing here is a smidge of autism in its natural habitat. Okay, because when he told her to stop the first time, all she heard was, the stories are too silly. They need to be more serious. She didn't hear the stop. So when she came back serious the second time, she thought she had fixed the problem. And he was like, "Ma'am, things need to be work related in your office emails." She didn't even pick up on the fact that the man was like cease and desist. So she went work related to the office tips. So now this man, apparently, if we had not cleared her up, because the comments cleared her up. Like, if you go in the comments, the link, I'm gonna put the link in the information box on YouTube and on the in the show notes on the podcast platform. It's still out there. If you go in the comment section, the comments gathered her up nicely. They scooped her up and was like, "Boo boo, not in this economy." I think a lot of people were like, "Are you okay? Like, what part are you not understanding?" I don't know, if she had not come out, if she would not be still writing. She would be like on her sixth edition of her out of office email, and her poor boss would be over there banging their head on the desk, trying to get this woman to understand. Please just write, "I am out of the office, beginning on this day and ending on that day. Please contact XYZ person at this email phone number in an emergency. I will return your email when I am back in the office." Like, just write that. Okay, that poor boss was over there just losing their whole bloody mind. The next thing that I noticed when I went to her page was, because I searched, because her screen name starts with the name Chef. And I was like, okay, this is a person talking about whatever, it's Chef, whatever, but that doesn't matter because my screen name start with Glamazini and I don't be out here glamorous like that anymore because I'm tired. Okay. But apparently she was a chef. And so I was like, oh, okay. That that explains it a little bit, because she was an entrepreneur. And she did make this comment in the video about like, oh, who wants to write a boring email. That was like her caption. And corporate America is like stifling my style. So she trying to take entrepreneur freeness and cram it into corporate world stuff. And boo boo, listen, as a fun-loving woman who likes to wear animal ears and accoutrement, okay? I get it, but also cease and desist. Okay. And that's all I have to say about that. Next, TD Jakes. That transition was, listen, the transition is what it is, okay? Bishop TD Jakes, who is the pastor of one of the largest mega churches. I don't know where are they located? I don't, Texas somewhere? Texas, yeah. Had a medical emergency a week and a half ago. So the Sunday before Thanksgiving, after preaching a sermon that was on video and on live. You can still go out there and see it, I believe. I don't know if they pulled anything down. He was sitting on a stool after he preached up a sermon, right? And it almost seemed like he was dozing off at first when I watched it, and kind of like sunking down in his chair on the stool. And then you kind of see his arm start to shake, and you see him kind of dip, almost like a person falling asleep. Like, how people on a plane try to fall asleep and catch themselves, that like jerking thing. And he was noticeably, quote unquote, dozing off is what it looked like. I saw some people say they thought he was in the quote unquote spirit, is why people didn't rush up there and do anything earlier. And his words were getting very like quiet. And all of a sudden, you see the arm shaking, you see him almost fall, and a bunch of people bum rush the stage, and they rush him, and they get him the medical help that he needs. After that, his daughter Sarah and her husband Torre did post on Instagram that evening and was like, "Woo, what a day. Okay, everything's cool. He's doing well. We just want you guys to know he's okay." Later on in the week, of course, we're all celebrating Thanksgiving. They are going through a harrowing situation clearly in the background. And then this past week, there was a video of Bishop Jakes leaving whatever medical facility he was in, talking and just kind of expressing over and over that he was super grateful, as well as a video of him that was shown in their church yesterday. So December 1st. Um, speaking at length and sharing that he did have a medical emergency that he had to be rushed in and eventually had to have surgery for. It could have been fatal. Thank God it wasn't fatal. He was the one talking, so all his faculties are there. You could see that he was tired, but he was talking. He shared that the doctor said that he needs to sit down somewhere, and that he was not a person that was not taking care of himself and neglecting his health. He had just had a physical. So whatever the physical was, it didn't catch this whatever this was on the physical. They did not share the details of it, but it really seemed to me like he was having some sort of Blue Isis. Blue Isis is ahead of me. Okay, she's in the medical. I literally was about to say it was giving stroke. She said she felt like it was either a seizure or a stroke. Yeah. And the reason why it was giving stroke to me is because I have seen strokes in my own family. And it was given that. Okay. So, but we do not know. We're just guessing based off of what we saw. But he is doing well. He had to have surgery and he is doing well right now. And the doctors told him to sit down somewhere. And so he sent a video. If you want to see all these things, if you go to TD Jakes, I think it's Bishop Jakes on Instagram. I think that's his handle. You can see these videos. They're out there. But prayers to their family. And just like Sarah said, no, just like Bishop Jakes said yesterday in his video, thank God that they are not planning a funeral right now because they could have been planning a funeral. Okay. And I say that uh, as a person whose family members are currently planning a funeral. There's a funeral happening in my family in the Virgin Islands this Friday. So, blessings to their family, prayers for whatever it is that happened to him, that it is something that they have medical treatment and that he can do things that are preventative to prolong his health. And it was scary. Listen, I'm going to say it because I'm thinking it, and that's what this podcast is for. As a person that worked on my church's media ministry before I stopped going to my church, I was actually quite shocked at how long they kept the shot of him on the screen. The only explanation I've heard that makes it make sense is that they thought he was in the spirit, like they thought something was happening. But when I was watching it, and it might be because I had the context beforehand that he had a medical emergency, right? That I knew to look for that, but I didn't see it in real time. But they seem like they kept it on the screen so much longer than I would have thought. Like I would have cut to something else, okay, real quick. But they did, and that happened, and all of that. Oh, the other thing before I move on to the last two thoughts I have, is Bishop Jake said in his video yesterday that he did not experience what we experienced watching it. He didn't even know what we had experienced until um, he saw the videos. He was like, yeah, it looked, I thought people were very concerned and all that, like watching the video of you guys. And he said, but I actually just felt like I was being cradled by someone. And he was like, it was beautiful. And it was just like this beautiful feeling of being cradled. And he's been pondering that. And, it seems like that'll be a little bit more of a thought that he comes to fullness. But it didn't. I actually started to think about all these near-death experience videos that I watch on YouTube. Yeah, that's one of my guilty pleasures. I like to watch near-death experience videos. Now you know, now you know. And when he started talking about it, I was like, oh my goodness, like he's about to tell us what happened when the outside seemed like it was shutting down and what was happening on the inside. And I did think that that was such an interesting thing that he shared about the fact that he felt like he was being cradled and what that felt like for him and how, shocked he was when he saw the video of what happened because that's not what he experienced at all. Blue Isis says, I'm sorry for the loss in your family. Thank you very much. My uncle passed away um, after an illness. Uh, it's one of those things where, like, it's coming, but still, So, yes, thank you very much. Two more things I want to talk about. And this one's super quick because I don't have a dog in this fight. Okay. Apparently, Drake has sued the record label that Kendrick Lamar's They're Not Like Us song was under. If you know how that went down, Drake and Kendrick were going back and forth. Drake was like, drop something, drop something, drop something. Kendrick dropped something. He dropped They Not Like Us, blew the man off the planet, not even out the water, blew Drake off the freaking out the Milky Way. Okay. He won. Okay. In the world of the old school rap battle, it was a flawless victory on the part of Kendrick. And Drake should have just taken his loss and went back to the drawing board to, I don't know, to fight again another day. Okay. Instead of that, Drake decided to put his hair in pigtails and choose violence and to sue the record label, basically saying that the only reason They Not Like Us got as big as it was is because the record label was like promoting it in some errant way. Girl, I don't know. I don't know all the facts for real, for real. But what I do know is that is the most weak ass, ridiculous thing I have ever heard. Sir, take your loss and go sit down somewhere. Because we already think that you soupy. Okay? We already think that you're soupy and diluted. Kendrick dissected you with those lyrics so much that even if we weren't paying attention to you that much, we had to pay attention to you because the man's song was so good. We had to understand what the lyrics meant. And the more we learned about what the lyrics meant, the more diluted we realized you were. And now here you come with the most diluted Karen-esque ridiculousness. I want to speak to the manager. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo, I lost behavior. Sit down somewhere, go and have yourself some milk and cookies and regroup and come back next year. Okay? Leave us out of here with your pigtails. And that's all I have to say for Drake. Okay. And now, wrapping it up, I want to take a brief moment to point out that Joseph Robinette Biden, okay, our 48th president, who is on his way out, not off the planet. Prayers for long life for the man. He's old, but he seemed like he's still kicking. Okay. But on his way out of office from a position the man had said he was never going to run for. I don't know if y'all remember that. Joe Biden said he wasn't running for president again. Okay. I feel like he had ran back in the day. He had failed or whatever. And Joe was like, I'm not running. When, he was having a jolly good time being Obama's VP. And then when his son passed away, he went into a grief bubble and people were like, Joe, please, Joe, we need you. Joe, we need you. And he was like, I'm not doing that. Do y'all remember that? Okay. I want to put a pin in that because Joe said something and changed his mind. Okay. Let's put a pin in that. So Joseph Robinette Biden said, I'm not running no more for no president. I am in a grief bubble. I don't have it in me. Y'all leave me alone. That's what he said. Okay. Then what did Joseph Robinette Biden do? Joe came out, ran for president, and won. The man said he was going to do one thing and did something else. All right. Now that we have that established as the foundation, yesterday or the day before, the same man who right in front of our faces did a pump fake, okay, and changed his mind and went whoop, 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 pardoned his son, Hunter Biden, after he said he wouldn't. So I am not a politician. I don't understand politics that deeply. So do not get your political pundencies from me. Okay. I am just a happy-go-lucky woman with several mental health diagnoses sitting out here on Tabitha Brown's internet pontificating about random stuff because expression is the opposite of depression. Okay. And wearing bunny ears while I do it. But what I do know is presidents have the power of the pardon, which means that they can basically carte blanche free people from the obligations of law that were put on them for things that they were charged with. And there are some gun related charges that I think Hunter Biden has had. I don't know them entirely because if I'm honest, a lot of times these charges kind of ring in my head like Hillary's emails. They seem ridiculous to me, especially when put up against the people on the other side, specifically negative 45 and the freaking laundry list dump truck worth of felonies and hush money charges and all this stuff that this man and now the people in his cabinet have amassed. When people tell me stuff about like Hunter Biden's laptop and his gun, I'm just like, it's like somebody showing me a speck of sand and me being like, okay, there's an ocean over here of felonies and hush money. Oh my. And you talking about this speck of sand. So I don't know the details. Okay. Nor do I want to know the details. There's too many other things in my head. But what I do know is at the end of negative 45's presidency, that man pardoned everybody. Okay. He might have pardoned me. I don't even have any charges against me. That man, he was like Oprah with them cars. You get a pardon. He was pardoning Steve Bannon. He was pardoning family members. He was pardoning everybody. Okay. That man was letting everybody loose. Okay. Letting people loose. And I know that Joe Biden said he was not going to pardon his son. And I know why Joe Biden's, I don't know, because I'm not Joe Biden. I could guess based off of the man's behavior in the past, and past behavior can predict future behavior and give you some insight into what the person might be thinking. It's because Joe is a rationally thinking, patriotic man who believes in right and wrong. Right. And so I think that Joe was thinking, I'm not going to interfere. Of course, I would if I could, but I'm not going to because I'm just going to let justice be served. But at the end of a presidential term that he said he didn't want to do and that he jumped in and did anyway because he felt like democracy was at stake. And then at the end of it, he watched people still alley-oop, okay, negative 45 back into office to finish what he started and blow this whole thing up. I think Joe Biden is realizing, like many of us are realizing, that the rules don't apply anymore. Okay? The rules don't apply anymore. The rules are fluid, they're malleable, they don't make no sense when you're talking to people in conservative circles. It don't be making no sense. And at this point, I'm not even mad at Joe. When I saw that he had pardoned Hunter Biden, I thought, ooh, let's do that again. When I saw that he had pardoned Hunter, my first thought was, ooh, I know he did not. And then my next thought was, oh, well. Oh, well. Okay. Is that the world I want to live in? No. I want to live in a world where our consciousness makes more sense and we have things that make sense. Um, Blue Isis says, look, if up is down and down is up, it's it is because we have a felon for president coming up, then anything goes when it comes to hoes because pimping ain't easy. Okay. And Joe Biden said, what I'm not about to do is sit here and watch y'all make up rules. Watch y'all put every person, y'all just walking around picking every scandalous person with every people who don't like the FBI to head the FBI, people who were on heroin to be the head of the what you call it, medical stuff, people with charges, and then just charges and felonies everywhere. What? I thought you said last time you was going to drain the swamp. Y'all are the swamp. So Joe Biden said, what I'm not about to do is sit here and have y'all have your way with my son. And you know what's been fun to watch about the end specifically of Joe Biden's term? He really don't care. Joe is like that person that gave his 2 weeks notice and he don't care. They keep calling that man Sleepy Joe, like that man don't have thoughts that are thinking his thoughts. Okay. But one thing about Joe Biden that I have noticed is that man critical thinking be critically thinking. Okay. He slides in, he alley oops them things over. Okay. And I would not be shocked. Where are we? December 2nd. I would not be shocked if we don't have a few more coming down the pike. Some surprises, some real surprises from Joe, because why not? I mean, what you gonna do? Fire him? Sorry, what you gonna do? The man is old. The man has gotten to the top office in the country. Even when he's been vice president, he's been president, the man has pledged his entire life to this country and worked for it. He's gotten to it. He slid back in. He did what he was going to do. This man got a hot month and a half left. And I'm sure he gonna sneak in a whole bunch of other stuff. Speaking about that, did you see that he snuck in them 60 something judges, left leaning judges? 30 some of them are black women. Come on now. Come on. I saw him pardon Hunter, and I was like, I mean, I'll allow it at this point, because like Blue Eyes say, up is down, down is up, left is right, right is jello. The ground is moving underneath us. And that man was like, bet, watch me. Okay. And I'm 100% in support of that. And that is another taping of the I've Created a Monster podcast. If you would like to support the sponsor of this podcast, become a patron at patreon.com/Glamazini. You can also suggest your topics there. And I hope that you all are having the most amazing week after Thanksgiving. I'm still recuperating, and I cannot believe it's December. And I am excited and anxious, and I have a lot of deep emotions going on going into the new year for personal and public reasons with the politics. Okay. But we're going to get through this together. So, you guys, don't forget to show up, to speak up, to F something up, and to create your own monster. Okay. Bye.